So it's actually been 2.5 months since my most recent Q&A video, and I remember myself saying at the beginning of the year that I wanted to go ahead and do a lot more of these like sit down in front of a camera and just simply talk kind of videos. So that's what this is. So a couple of days ago I posted this photo on Instagram asking if you had any questions, and I'm looking at it for the very first time right now, and it turns out there are 157 comments. I don't think I've ever had this many on one photo before, so that's pretty awesome. By the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram already, I try and post regularly on both my story as well as the actual photos, so at the very least go have a look. Now before I jump into the questions, and I'm actually really excited for it because I noticed there are a lot of good ones, today's video, believe it or not, we're one of those cool channels now, today's video actually has a video sponsor. So as some of you might remember, right, I think about 3-4 months ago or so, I casted the WESG Grand Finals for Starcraft 2 over in China. And at the end of 2017, I also casted the European Finals of Starcraft 2 over in Barcelona. Anyways, they reached out and they asked if I wanted to help them advertise the fact that you can now also sign up for the 2018 qualifiers. Not just for Starcraft 2, let me go ahead and get the list of games. In total, there are tournaments for CSGO, Dota 2, Hearthstone, Pro Evolution Soccer, Starcraft 2, like I already mentioned, as well as Vainglory. Now, if you are located in the United States of America or in Canada, qualifiers are now open. So go ahead and click the link down below in the description of this video to sign up. In total, in the United States alone, there is $200,000 in prize money. And in Canada, there's $150,000 of Canadian dollars in prize money as well, which I think is absolutely awesome. Anyways, if you play one of the 6 games that I just mentioned competitively and you want to sign up and you're located in Canada or in the United States of America, links are down below in the description of the video. Alright, so let me have a look at all of the comments. There's a lot of them. I've done many Q&As in the past. I don't think I've ever had this many questions. It's a little ridiculous. Subang asks, Loko, do you read? Or more specifically, do you read science fiction? Great question, actually. I used to read a lot a couple of years ago, and then I noticed that with just all of the things that I was doing in life, that I was not reading nearly as much anymore as I once did. So I think about a year or so ago, I picked it up once again. I've been reading a lot of different books. I think the first series that I finished was The Dark Tower from Stephen King, but since then, I've read the Stormlight Archive, I have read, hold up, I need to now remember all the names. I finished a lot of books since then actually, but I finished The Dark Tower, Stormlight Archives, The Kingkiller Chronicles, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I'm currently reading Mistborn. There's a whole lot of series that I read in between as well, so yes, I most definitely am. So currently I'm reading The Well of Ascension, which is the second book of the Mistborn saga, which I personally would highly recommend. It's really, really good. I think though that if you haven't read books in a very long time, and I've given this recommendation 100 times since first mentioning it, but I think if you haven't read any books in a long time and you would like to get started, have a look at the first book of the Kingkiller Chronicles. It's called The Name of the Wind. It's very accessible. Easily one of the best series I've ever read. Would highly recommend. By the way, this is usually what happens. I just like pick 2 questions and then I talk about those for like 20 minutes. And that's kind of my Q&A. Maybe I need to try and go through these a little bit quicker. Am I ever coming to Australia? Well, I certainly hope so, but I currently don't have any plans. Are you satisfied with the current amount of real-time strategy releases and with their quality? So, I've been playing strategy games most of my life, right? And I've tried a lot of the modern ones as well to come out. And of the ones that I've played, I personally really enjoyed They Are Billions as well as Frostpunk. Now, I don't know if either of those technically qualify as like a real-time strategy game, because both of them, you know, you can pause the game and it's single player for the most part as well, so it's a little bit difficult. But as far as multiplayer 1 versus 1 RTS games go, there's no denying that Starcraft 2 is just far and away the best one. I mean, you know, other companies try. They try and release similar games, but it's just nowhere near as good. I secretly hope that they're going to be releasing a remastered edition for Warcraft 3. Some of you may know I did a very long playthrough series on this YouTube channel where I played the campaigns, but I never really got into the multiplayer very much. And from what I've heard, Warcraft 3 multiplayer, in particular 1 versus 1, is absolutely amazing. So I would like to give that a try. So, you know, fingers crossed. Maybe they announce something. Maybe they announce something at BlizzCon. Willix asks, how did you rise up through the ranks and talk with all the professionals and become a professional caster? I don't think that was very much so of a conscious decision for me, more so than it was just simply me making content for a very long time. I just tried to put out the best content that I could, and it turns out that some people started watching, and then obviously when people start watching, usually companies and whatnot start taking notice too, and since pretty much all of the commentators and pro gamers in Starcraft, right, they try and keep track of what's going on in the scene, so they also check out your stuff. I think overall the Starcraft community is very welcoming, so if you're a content creator and you would like to get into it, I mean, you know, just make stuff. I think that the Starcraft community in general is very, very welcoming. It's kind of funny, I get a lot of questions always if I've ever been to Malaysia, or for example, if I've ever been to Budapest. Nope to either of those. Which game will you do a playthrough of after Frostpunk? So, I haven't quite decided yet, although I have to say I'm really enjoying these strategic games on YouTube quite a bit. Even though I'm not necessarily the best at it, I do really enjoy it. So if you have any recommendations of games that I should check out, let me know down below in the comment section. Maris asks, will you return to the World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth? As a matter of fact, I have been playing that game quite a bit. I already successfully downed all of the bosses with a guild over in Uldir, and I think my item level right now is like, I'm not entirely sure, I think it's like 352 maybe? I'm not entirely sure actually. Anyways, I'm just mostly casually playing the game from time to time. I try and do my world quests, and at the very least, I don't want to fall into the trap that I had with Legion, where I played at the very beginning of the expansion and at the very end. I kind of want to play, you know, throughout the Battle for Azeroth. So while I won't be playing very hardcore, and I won't probably be streaming it very much either. I'm just casually playing it and I'm just having a good time. But yes, just to answer your question, yes, I've been playing plenty of World of Warcraft. Drowsy Taurus with the most important question so far. Loco, what's better? Waffles or bacon? I'm gonna have to go with bacon on that one. Vladi asks, Loco, what language do you speak at home and with close friends? I get this question quite a lot. So here's the thing, right? I make content on YouTube as well as on Twitch, all in English, right? It's all in English. However, in day-to-day life, I live in the Netherlands. I speak Dutch. Maybe I should do like a Dutch video or something from time to time. Although, the thing about Dutch people is dat they mostly just speak all fluent English. Dus ik kan misschien wel een video maken in het Nederlands, maar ja, ik heb geen idee of daar ook maar überhaupt interesse in is. Trust me, I was not trying to like summon a demon or do anything else terrible. It's just Dutch, okay? It's not the prettiest language. And then a follow-up question as well. He asked, have you lived in Holland your whole life? So actually, I was born in one of the Hollands. So there's North Holland and South Holland, but it's only part of the Netherlands. Anyways, I was born and raised in North Holland. However, recently I moved over to another province called Utrecht, which it's like a 10-minute drive to get to Holland. But technically speaking, I guess I currently don't live in Holland, although I do live in the Netherlands. It's a little confusing. Alonso asks, Loco, have you ever played Diablo and why is it not on your channel? And that one's got a whole bunch of likes. I actually do have a couple of Diablo 3 videos on the channel. I made those when the game first came out, and I think I made some as well with the Reaper of Souls release. If you go to my channel and you search Diablo, you'll probably be able to find some really old and cringy videos.
Hello everyone, my name is Simon, and today it's time for Diablo 3.
I don't know if you want to necessarily check those out, but they're there. Loco, has your girlfriend ever played Starcraft 2, and what does she think of it? So, she's never played Starcraft, but I asked her once upon a time, if you were to play Starcraft, what race would you play? And this was a very important question, and guess what she said, guys? I'm a Zerg player at heart, right? She said, I would probably play Protoss because they look pretty. I've never felt so betrayed in my life. No, but to answer your question, she doesn't. I tried, trust me. I tried, but she doesn't play. How old were you when you got your first computer? Asks Star Wars streamer. That's a good one. I remember our first computer being a Windows 95 PC. And I remember my dad buying that when I was very young. So I was born in 92. I think we must have gotten our first computer in like 95 or 96 or so, because my dad, you know, he was hip. He was ready to purchase the most new technology at the time and probably, you know, pay like 3,000 euro or whatever for the 16 megabytes of RAM or whatever it was. Anyways, we didn't even have euros back then. Long story short, I've been playing video games ever since like, I think then. So probably when I was like 3-4 years old. Something like that. Dr. Cockstein. I love the nicknames, guys. Absolutely phenomenal. He asks, Lowko, being a full-time streamer, how much of an impact has it had on your personal free time? I mean, being self-employed makes your time management more flexible, but at the same time, if you want to be consistent, you can't really allow yourself to slip up. So this is something that I've actually been working on more in recent times. So ever since moving, I would say about like 8 months or so ago, I've been trying to put more of an effort into like, you know, calling it a day at a certain point. So for me personally, I usually wake up around 7 in the morning or so, and I usually do stuff until about 8 in the evening. And at that point, I try to just sort of, you know, turn off all of my devices or put them in airplane mode, and at the very least make it so that I'm not consistently checking things out. Because what you're saying is most definitely true. I think this goes for pretty much everyone who's self-employed. While you technically have a lot of freedom on your time, it's very easy to never stop, you know, what is considered to be work. Even though what I do doesn't really feel like work. I'm sure you know what I mean, right? Like, just simply checking your email every once in a while, or just, you know, updating social media and all that. I do think it's very important to just simply schedule free time. So yes, I am working on that, because it's one of those things you can very easily fall into, right? It's very easy to just continuously try and be online. So for me personally, I try to just simply put my phone away and, you know, turn off my computers. Great questions, guys. Yuri asks, Lowko, bananas or not bananas? I quite like bananas, you know, for like eating. Don't know if that had to be clarified. Maybe that just makes it more awkward. I'm not sure. Mike asks, Lowko, how's your day, pal? My day's been pretty good so far, Mike. Thank you for asking. I got a haircut. I feel very pretty. Do I look pretty, Mike? And then the last question for today. Upstream Solid asks, Lowko, my question is, are you gonna do another Q&A video? So I want to do these kind of videos more regularly. I really enjoy just simply sitting down in front of a camera and just simply talking about stuff. I'm not sure if I necessarily need to like schedule these things where I do them like once a month or every 2 months or something along those lines. But I do think it's good to just simply talk about things whenever there's like something exciting to talk about. Like for example, the patch notes video that I did for Starcraft 2 recently. I think that's the type of video that, you know, is just really good to just simply sit down for and just talk for like an hour. A lot of people have been treating my videos, I've asked this several times on Twitch, but I know a lot of people have been treating my videos in sort of a way like you treat podcasts, where you basically just sit and you just listen, and you may not necessarily look at the screen very much, but you know, I'm just there in your like earphones or your headphones or whatever. I'm just talking about random stuff. I kind of want to do more of that kind of content, or maybe I should just start like a podcast or something. Although I don't really know exactly what I would be talking about in a podcast necessarily, because usually podcasts are at least like a half hour long, right? Anyways, I've got all kinds of ideas, but only so many hours in a day. So I'm trying to do as many things as I can. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did and you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that way you get notifications as soon as future content goes live. And other than that, if you made it all the way until the end of the video, do me a favor, hit that like button down below. But for now, I want to thank you for watching. Have an amazing day, okay? Do not forget to smile, and I'll see you once again in the next video.